Jana Duggar and her husband Stephen Wisman were about to experience one of the most joyful periods of their lives when they unexpectedly experienced heartbreak. According to reports, Jana experienced terrible abdominal pain during her first pregnancy and was taken to the hospital late last night. As Stephen, looking frightened, grabbed her hand tightly on the way to the hospital facility, witnesses said the Counting On star looked pale and clearly distressed. According to family-friendly sources, Jana had been having minor discomfort in the morning but wrote it off as typical pregnant discomfort. But in a few hours, the pain became so severe that she was unable to stand. Stephen called for assistance right after, and the couple was spotted arriving to a nearby hospital in Arkansas, where medical personnel responded quickly. Witnesses claim that as Stephen Wisman saw Jana being brought into emergency care, he started crying. He appeared totally broken. According to an insider, you could tell how deeply in love and scared he was for her and their baby. As Stephen waited by himself in the hospital hallway, frightened and praying, waiting for news on Jana and his unborn child, the scene allegedly moved bystanders. Although the Duggar family has not yet released an official statement, rumors have it that Jessa and Joanna, among other family members, hurried to the hospital to be by Jana's side. Using hashtags like #PrayerForge and #DuggarFamilyStrong, supporters have filled social media with prayers and hopeful comments. Jana, renowned for her loving nature and calm strength. The foundation of the Duggar family has long been regarded as nature. Fans who had followed her for years celebrated her marriage and motherhood, so her unexpected health scare was all the more painful. Fans worldwide are holding their breath and hoping for a good outcome as medical professionals continue to monitor Jana and her unborn child. The family is still at the hospital for the time being, requesting privacy at this extremely sensitive period. Just pictures, no words, no interviews. However, in the Duggar household a post tells a tale. What exactly is Anna Duggar attempting to convey? And when our expert examined her most recent photos, what did she find? After a lengthy time of almost complete silence, Anna Duggar has subtly returned to the public eye in recent weeks with a striking visual change that has garnered a lot of attention. In pictures released with minimal fanfare, the former reality TV star is shown with her kids in a public place wearing simple clothing, and body language experts are interpreting the information. According to a television expert on the family's previous program, those pictures may contain hidden hints concerning her mental health. A long silence. Anna initially became well known as a result of the reality show Counting On, which followed the Duggar clan's extended family. The family experienced significant upheavals throughout the years, including a sexual abuse scandal, criminal prosecution, and ongoing legal and reputational consequences. Because Anna's husband, Josh Duggar, was heavily involved in these matters, Anna stayed out of the spotlight for a long time. She hardly ever showed up in social media posts for years. When she did, the visual clues were extremely cautious and the commentary was sparse. She stayed silent on social media in late 2021 following her husband's scandal, but followers continued to look for hints in the few posts she made, according to a recent report. The reappearance in pictures. Snapshots taken in the spring of 2025 of Anna with her 7 children served as the catalyst for the newfound interest. An Arkansas community center. Instead of coming from her own widely advertised social media accounts, the photos were allegedly noticed by local photographers or published by a family acquaintance. In one picture, Anna stands in the middle, wearing pants and a neutral-colored shirt, with the kids on either side of her. Her face is composed. In a different one, she is seen offering assistance with a game or children's activity, while appearing to be at ease, but still controlling her appearance. Fans, media outlets, and the general public started analyzing everything from her stance to her outfit's color scheme. The specialist unraveling the hints. According to a commenter who went by the name of Counting On Expert, Anna's pictures are more than just ordinary family portraits. They are coded messages about her attitude toward her past and her mental state. This expert believes that her decision to dress modestly and loosely conveys a protective attitude and a wish to evade attention. Her cautious look suggests caution and even emotional exhaustion. The scene, just the family and nothing ostentatious. It appears from branding or advertising images that she is purposefully maintaining a low profile and managing her story. A return to origins and perhaps a reordering of priorities are suggested by the background context, which is a community venue in Arkansas rather than an opulent one. According to the expert's interpretation of the images, Anna is conveying three messages: that she is actively and present, taking care of her kids, deliberately avoiding the spotlight, and rebuilding according to her own terms. For instance, the expert pointed out that in previous years, Anna frequently participated in well-planned, professional picture shoots for the show or promotional events. These more recent pictures, on the other hand, have a more somber, even solemn tone. It is implied that she is now living more for her private life and less for the camera. Why is this important? For a number of reasons, Anna's transition from a well-known figure to a more private one is noteworthy. First of all, Counting On and the Duggar family's brand were mostly dependent on publicity, family spectacle, and an extremely regulated picture. Anna is defying that model by moving away. Second, the Josh Duggar issue had a lasting impact on the family's reputation, income, and network. In addition to him, Anna's low-T strategy can be an indication of a change in emphasis from private sustainability to public redemption. Thirdly, her reappearance causes concerns for both her followers and detractors. Has her sense of agency changed? Is she indicating that she's ready to resume her public activities? Or is she just taking care of her life out of sight? Presentation on social media versus in person. It's interesting to note that, in contrast to many celebrities who use social media to design and disseminate ideas, Anna appears to have used images in a more indirect way, not by making a statement or purposefully captioning a post, but just by being visible. The localized setting, the sparse captioning, and the lack of ostentatious branding all point to a conscious decision. According to media reports, even if she is still mostly out of the spotlight, people are keeping a careful eye on her appearances. According to one source, she received criticism for her body language when she was seen for the first time in 2 years in December 2024 at a local community gathering. Her hands were tucked into extra-long sleeves, suggesting self-defense, and experts noted that she seemed anxious. Indications of rebirth. Even those same analysts detected a change about a month later. Her stance was looser, her countenance more open, and she seemed to be laughing in the new photos. That change was seen as proof that Anna might be entering a new stage, one in which she is less defensive and a little more relaxed. A narrative arc from retreat to cautious re-engagement to tentative relaxation is suggested by the photo's collective progression. According to the professional decoding, Anna is subtly mapping out her own development, and the pictures serve as markers of that path. What is not depicted in the pictures? It's important to note what is missing from the story despite the attention. No official public. There was no clear promotional push, no syndicated interview to go with the pictures, and a statement from Anna outlining her role. The images don't appear to be from a reality TV announcement or a brand relaunch. They don't talk. Furthermore, the location selection, relaxed posture, loose attire, and visual cues are all arbitrary and vulnerable to interpretation. Although it is based on body language analysis and the family's public history, the expert's reading is only one potential perspective. In the absence of Anna's own words, the meaning is still up for debate. Media and fan response. Fans and onlookers have had differing reactions. The images are seen by some counting on fans as encouraging evidence that Anna is taking back her own life and autonomy. On social media threads, many remark that she is stronger now, more composed but steady. Others are still dubious, questioning whether she is still involved in the dynamics of the family business, or what her future holds in light of her husband's personal and legal circumstances. The media have discovered the story in part because it is part of the Duggar family's bigger arc, which includes celebrity, scandal, failure, and reemergence. An element of intrigue is added by the visual cues perspective. It's more about what might be revealed or concealed than it is about what was stated. Method and meaning of expert commentary. The expert referenced in the article employs common techniques for behavioral reading and body language analysis. Posture, attire, hand gestures, genuine smiles, eye contact, environment selection, and group dynamics. A few of the most important signifiers they mention, such as loose-fitting apparel designed to reduce attention and offer emotional protection. Hands in sleeves or concealed, a typical self-defense position. A neutral expression instead of a big smile conveys prudence rather than skill. The kids around Anna show that her function is still crucial to the group's composition. Selecting a local community function as opposed to a high-profile media event conveys solitude. The expert deduces from these that Anna is indicating, "I am present. I am." The next phase may see a shift toward more relaxed body language, which could indicate that the protective shell is loosening, and that she is entering a calmer, more personal state. What this might mean going forward and what could this visual shift translate to in real terms? A few possibilities include reduced public profile. Anna may continue to live mostly off camera, with occasional family photos but without large-scale media engagements. Window to future projects. The emphasis in the photos is clearly on family, children, and community rather than brand or show, which may indicate a long-term rep prioritization. Rather than responding to outside media speculation, Anna may be allowing her visual presence to speak for her, leaving minimal verbal commentary. The context of previous controversies. Any interpretation of Anna's recent actions. In light of the larger context of the Duggar family's problems, including her husband's criminal case, which had a lasting impact on the family and severely damaged public trust, brand value, and internal family dynamics, Anna's guardedness may not come as a surprise given the media's coverage of her previous appearances, which said that she carried a lot of tension and only wanted to protect herself. A few months later, the shift toward genuine laughter and visible ease was picked up and interpreted as a positive turn. So, although not everyone supports the reading of secret messages, some critics contend that reading too much into clothing choices or a photo setting is speculative and imposes narratives, and they warn against treating such images as definitive statements rather than fleeting. These new photo appearances are significant not just as family snapshots but also as indicators of a personal coping journey following years of trauma, public scrutiny, relational instability, criticisms, and alternative interpretations. Some critics contend that the images may simply depict a mother with children at a community event. No coded message, no hidden meaning, and that the expert label is loosely applied in some media reports. The interpretive framework is qualitative rather than scientific, and the supposed reliance on experts may not be formally credentialed. Other commentators point out the danger of confusing what is visible with what is true, noting that just because someone looks relaxed, it doesn't mean they are. Anna's appearance is important for the Duggar brand, which was once a major reality TV franchise. The show counting on stalled when the family scandals escalated and public interest changed. For some, Anna's reemergence signals that the family brand still has life, albeit in a different form. For others, it suggests that the brand is changing into something more low-key, less polished, because they are not struggling. Beyond the brand, the story is fundamentally human. It also raises questions about the family's future public image. Will Anna participate in new media, start a new outreach, book or public speaking circuit, or will she stay behind the scenes concentrating on parenting, community, and private life? The visual signals in the most recent photos lean toward the latter, but as all viewers know, signals can change. The children she shares with Josh, the daily responsibilities of parenting, the quiet rhythms of community life, and the protective stance, guarded expressions, and the moment of visible release all speak to a journey of adjustment, resilience, and possibly healing. In this way, if the expert reading is accepted, the photos become more than just pictures. They become milestones. The first one appears as a marker of I am still here. I am holding. The later one becomes I am loosening. I am letting some light in. If a story of visual updates is indeed taking place, what might the next chapter look like? The audience may watch for a more polished but modest set of photos to signal a sort of comeback, a caption or brief statement that gives voice to what the visuals have suggested, a venue or event that moves beyond the local community and into something more public, such as a book signing, a brief speaking engagement, or a charitable appearance. Anna Duggar's recent photos may be less about spectacle and more about signaling presence, protection, gradual release, and a recalibrated public-private boundary. Perhaps brighter colors, more open posture, and less shielding clothing would reinforce the loosening up interpretation. Interactions or photos with broader circles, not only children and the local community, but friends or extended family, indicate social reintegration. For fans of Counting On, for viewers of reality TV aftermath, And for those interested in the dynamics of public family, private life and reinvention, these pictures offer a subtly captivating chapter. Whether Anna will speak in a fuller voice is still to be seen, but for now, her camera is silent. Whether accurate or slightly speculative, the images do seem to reflect someone navigating change, from the demands of a highly visible past through a period of withdrawal to a tentative reemergence on her own terms. Signals are full of meaning. For example, Dr. Melissa Norton, a media psychology researcher who is not associated with the Duggar family, says, after major reputational trauma, speaking publicly can feel dangerous. Experts in celebrity image management say Anna Duggar's subdued use of photos without captions, interviews, or explicit statements is part of a growing trend among public figures seeking control after crisis. Every word is examined, cited, and analyzed. Photos, on the other hand, are unclear. They may allude to recovery, distance without committing to a story or continuity. To put it another way, stillness turns into speech. The quiet is filled with interpretation from Anna's supporters and critics, which paradoxically maintains her relevance while enabling her plausible deniability. According to Norton, this tactic frequently involves incremental reframing, disengagement, soft re-entry, and a consistent pattern. First, the topic vanishes, frequently following a high-profile scandal. After that, they return in a setting with fewer stakes, giving the audience a chance to reacclimate. The public's perception gradually changes from one of someone involved in controversy to one who is moving on. The second stage, the soft re-entry, may therefore be deduced from Anna's pictures. This interpretation is supported by her subdued tones, the organic environment, and the absence of overt messaging. The secret communication style of the Duggar family. The Duggar family is not new to the concept of visual language or subtle hints. Fans of Counting On and 19 Kids and Counting have long observed that the family's media production, Christmas greetings, YouTube videos, and Instagram postings are commonly used subtle cues. Family members have frequently avoided confronting issues head-on when they have arisen in the past. Fans use their seemingly irrelevant holiday cards, family photos, or inspirational Bible passages as symbolic commentary. After a scandal occurred, a verse about forgiveness would surface. Announcing a baby could deflect negative publicity. A happy family photo could provide comfort in the midst of reports of separation. Anna learned to speak in the same subtle language after marrying into this media-savvy but closed-off family. Although the tone is very different, quieter, more modest, and less polished, her current photo clues do follow the traditional family script in that regard. Visual indicators. The information that stoked conjecture. Small elements in the most recent images have drawn attention from observers. The ring. Anna is still wearing her wedding band in a few of the photos. Some interpret this as a symbol of her steadfast devotion to her jailed husband. For others, the reluctance to publicly perform divorce or reconciliation is due to habit or privacy concerns. The shoes. Instead of the modest pumps that Anna used to choose on the show, analysts pointed out that she wore functional shoes. Although it was a small touch, some people saw it as a sign of comfort over presentation. One further indication of disengagement with the TV character. Grooming and hair. Long renowned for her meticulously curled hair, Anna now sports a more straightforward straight style. According to image experts, this shift may represent shedding an outdated persona. Props for the background. One image features a modest children's toy set, serving as a reminder of the peaceful household life that goes on behind the news. Palette of colors. Her clothing's gentle blues and grays are frequently seen as soothing or neutral hues, linked to introspection and emotional control. These can appear to be coincidences to an outsider. However, for devoted readers of the Duggar narrative, who are used to figuring out everything from clothing requirements to courtship norms, even the smallest clues become emblematic. Public pity and exhaustion. Responses from the general population can be divided into two groups. Tiredness and pity. Fans who sympathize with Anna worry about her as a woman torn between trauma, loyalty, and faith. Online commenters praise her dedication to her kids and say she didn't deserve what happened. She is seen by many as a representation of perseverance. People who are tired of the Duggar family's continuous media afterlife are on the opposing side. They don't think Anna's pictures are brave or mysterious. They are merely the remains of a brand that ought to go. According to critics, ongoing coverage, even of little visual hints, maintains a fascination loop that keeps genuine closure from occurring. Clicks and shares, however, indicate that the audience hasn't completely moved on. Every new picture rekindles the discussion, demonstrating how powerful the Duggar name is. There are two sides to silence. According to media observers, Anna's silence can both shield and ensnare her. The source of protection is uncertainty. She avoids being directly criticized or misquoted by being quiet, but her image can equally be frozen by silence. Others define her since she lacks the ability to articulate herself. Experts, tabloids, and fans. This is compared to the dilemma of passive communication by some psychologists. People tend to project more onto you the less you speak. Public identity eventually turns into a mirror reflecting prevailing conjecture. This could be the reason why Anna's pictures are decrypted a fresh time every few months. She stops being an active participant and instead becomes an object of interpretation. Teller of stories. Quiet resilience inside sources. According to a person close to the family who was quoted by In Touch Weekly, Anna is attempting to lead a regular life away from cameras and is now concentrating on her children and religion group. The same source made it clear that Anna isn't prepared to speak in public, and that the images people saw are only snapshots of real life, not declarations. However, being photographed itself, particularly when one's every action draws attention, becomes intrinsically communicative. A casual photo can have the appearance of a press release. How online sexuality culture is decoded by the fandom. The distinctive fanbase culture around the Duggar family is one of the reasons Anna's imagery evokes this interpretation. Topics like Anna's latest outfit, what does it mean? And still wearing the ring, for example, are common on discussion boards.